A few years ago, a survey was taken testing how much faith young Americans had in Social Security. When asked the question, do you believe that Social Security will be around when you retire, 28% said yes and 63% said no. When asked the question, do you believe that UFOs exist, 46% said yes and 43% said no. In a nutshell, this illustrates the faith that Americans have that the government will be able to provide the promised Social Security income for their old age. And their concerns are valid. The U.S. Social Security system will continue to consume more and more of the U.S. budget, leaving the government few options to address the shortfall. Given the overall budget crisis over the past 5 or 6 years, it seems unlikely that the current rate of coverage will be sustainable. Contributions or taxes must increase, or benefits must fall. The U.S. Social Security system, like many, is a pay-as-you-go scheme whereby current workers support pensioners. Unfortunately, demographics in the U.S. and elsewhere call into question the sustainability of this type of support. In the year 2000, between 4 and 5 workers supported each elderly person. By 2050, that is expected to fall to just over 2 to 1. The decline in other countries will be even more severe. In India, the ratio will fall from just under 12 to 1 to just over 4 workers per pensioner. Indonesia, Brazil, China, Mexico, and South Korea will face similar demographic challenges. In the Pacific Rim and South Asia, the trend is very similar. Malaysia will fall from 16 to 1 to just over 4 to 1. The Philippines and Thailand face similar changes. Even developed markets like Singapore and Hong Kong face drastic drops in their old age support ratios. Across Asia, where historically people have relied on their children for their support in their old age, this is a double whammy: no money and no family. So what are governments doing about it? Every country in the world has at least begun to make changes to transfer the risks and the responsibilities of saving for retirement to their citizens. Some countries like the US, UK, Sweden, Switzerland, and Chile began this process decades ago. Central and Eastern European countries and certain Asian countries like Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia committed to defined contribution pension schemes in the last 10 or 20 years. In the recent budget crisis, many countries have begun to pull back from the changes that they had made previously. Those Central European countries pulled back entirely from the reforms of the last decade. This is, of course, a short-term reaction and cannot be sustained. More will have to be done in the future. The world's pension assets reached a total of around 28 trillion in 2011. Most of these assets were in developed countries of Europe and North America, or in other developed countries such as Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Japan. Countries such as India and Thailand have introduced new pension schemes to address this problem, but like many developing countries, they face a double problem in that they must ensure social protection benefits like health insurance, while at the same time they must build solvent social security systems. The recent global financial crisis has set back the cause of pension reform, as I said before, but it did not make the problem go away. The World Bank, the OECD, and the UN have recently published an agenda for the future of pensions. Among their recommendations are to mandate private pensions with automatic enrollment, to ensure effective communication and financial education programs, to increase incentives for individual retirement savings, to promote lower-cost savings instruments, to encourage or even mandate annuitization of benefits rather than lump sum, to encourage later retirement and link this to life expectancy, to encourage complementary private savings, supplementary occupational and third pillar plans with tax advantages, and finally, to ensure portability of pensions. As an overall theme, these entities state that government should be encouraged to focus on social protection basics, such as minimal old age benefits and health insurance, and individuals should take more, indeed the primary responsibility, for their retirement savings. In conclusion, it seems that there is an opportunity for global financial services organizations to participate, even to lead the movement towards offering private savings and annuitization plans in countries all around the world. We have seen the massive amounts of assets that have flowed into retirement savings in the past decades. This can only increase in the future. I hope this brief overview of global pension reform has been informative and helpful to you. If you would like more information about KMH Global Consulting's capabilities or services, please feel free to contact me at the website or at the phone number on the bottom of the screen. Thank you very much.